All right, it's chip of the day. We have a 65 HVD235, I think. Let me make sure we have a 23.5. Yes, we have the 65 HVD235. It's a CAN bus transceiver. Now, I've showed a couple automotive OBD scanners for cars and stuff, and this is what it's hooked up to. It's hooked up to something called a CAN bus. And it's a differential pair type of network in a car. And it's 3.3 volts, and it's very tolerant of noise and everything. It's really good for that. And so here's a block diagram. There's going to be a driver. There's going to be a push-pull type of driver output that'll create differential signals. And then it also is a transceiver, so it can either transmit or it can receive. And then these things can all share the same wires. They can take turns of transmitting. They can take turns receiving. There'll be a host controller that makes sure that everybody plays nicely. Yeah. So it's a little 8-bit part, 8-pin part. Pretty easy to use. There's a data pin for transmitting, the receive pin for receiving the data. So this is for transmitting, this is for receiving, power and ground, and then there's the CAN high signal, the CAN low signal, that's the differential pair. There's an enable pin and a mode pin. So, but pretty straightforward. Now, I've never looked at CAN before, but it looks as though there's a 60 ohm resistor required on the pair, so everything runs correctly. That's 60 ohms. So let's hook one up and just kind of see what's going on. Okay, I have a breadboard down here, and it's hooked up with a random bit generator, and then we'll take a look at it up on the screen here. So we have the input, 0 to 3.3 volts. So this is the input data, and then this is the output of the CAN high and the CAN low. And so you can see that there's some strange voltages going on. This one seems to go from 2.5 volts and up, and this one seems to go from 2.5 volts and down. So that is very, very confusing. If you look at the data, though, you can see that these two are out of phase. When one goes high, one goes low. Like this little section right here, it's going low. This one right here is going high. So they're differential pairs for sure. And but they have these strange voltages, so I didn't understand that. So I asked my friendly AI, and it said that there's two wires, CAN high and CAN low, to transmit the data. Instead of measuring the voltage against a common ground, the receiver looks at the voltage difference between the two lines. This provides high immunity. The recessive state returns to 2.5 volts. So they both return to 2.5 volts. Okay, well that's what we measure here. One has a logic of the high, 3.3, and one has a logic of the ground. It's still kind of confusing to me. So I have another measurement here that is showing that we have things that go up and things that go down, and the middle is at 2.5 volts. So again, very, very confusing, but it's the same as this measurement here. And so I said, okay, well, what it's looking for is differences. So I'm taking these guys and I'm subtracting one from the other, and I'm getting that. And so now I get what looks like my original data, but it goes between 0 and 2 volts. That's kind of weird. But if you read the AI, it says creating a differential voltage of approximately 2 volts. Well, there it is, 2 volts. So I don't know. The CAN transceiver is doing what CAN transceivers do. So yeah, they're really weird. You know, raise your hand if you've worked with CAN. It seems like kind of a weird system. I don't quite get it. It's not symmetric, you know. You'd think that maybe they would choose 1.75 volts, but they didn't. Yeah, You tell me. All right, that was chip of the day, a 65HVD235.